congratulations. I mean,
Thank
wow.
you very much.
That's so. I mean, we knew you were attempting it. You had a couple of goes, didn't you? Last time it was only just at the beginning of the month, wasn't it?
So yeah, a few weeks ago actually, and I just got thwarted by the weather. It really was bad, and probably it would have been dangerous to continue. So I just had to pull the plug when I made it down. Actually, to the first road section, I started at 11 p.m. because there was supposed to be a weather window.
Right.
So that was weird in itself, trying to kind of doze all day and having this kind of fear in my belly about what was coming. And then the weather window didn't materialize. It was just heavy snow and hail, and I was getting blinded by all that. And I should have had snow goggles, but that was making me really cold because I had to slow down. So I couldn't keep my body temperature up. And after 20 miles, I got back onto the road, and I knew that it was a bad idea. Yeah,
especially alone.
Yeah, exactly. I was alone out there, and I didn't want to take stupid risks, and I think it would have been stupid to continue. It was just too much. So yeah, I pulled the plug there. I was feeling pretty demoralized. But then, yeah, this weather window just kind of came out of nowhere, and I shuffled things together really quickly. I stayed in shape. So yeah, I managed to get really lucky. It went from the worst weather to the best in the space of 4. It was ideal. 10 out of 10.
Well, was it the same as what we had in the lakes? Because I was in the lakes. It was just stunning.
I think so. Yeah, I think I saw a lot of lovely pictures from the lakes on Instagram. So I think we had something similar. Yeah, great viz. You can get better visibility in the winter. That clear air just felt like I could see for miles. So stunning day. Yeah, the only problem was at the next morning, I was coming over some low hills and there was a low cloud. But at that point, I was so tired. I was going so slowly anyway. I don't think it made any difference.
Did you start at the same time? Was it?
No. So the reason I had started at 11 p.m. was just for this weather window that didn't happen. But we had at least 3 days of nice weather. And I was going to go on Friday, which was going to be the first good day. But then John Kelly said he was coming up and he was going on the Sunday. So I was like, oh, well, that works great for me too. So we decided to go together.
Okay. So that was a spur of the moment.
Yeah. It's something that it was actually an idea that I had got from him and Damian Hall, where they were going to do the Pennine Way and they were going to start at opposite ends and then race across
were they? Okay.
Yeah, but it didn't work out. Their timings didn't work out. But it had given me the idea, like how cool that would be.
Yes.
And so when John told me he was doing it on Sunday, I was like, oh, well, it's not much difference for me to wait a few more days. I know the weather's going to be good. So I suggested it to him. It was a bit unfair on him because I was going for the record and I was training specifically for that. But he was actually attempting, he wanted to do the 3 big rounds in the UK all in the winter. So he had such an agenda. So rather than it being like a big head-to-head race, it actually wasn't that because he was trying to bank 3 rounds in one.
Just finish it.
Yeah. But he was game, and it was nice to know that he was out there at the same time as me. It was a nice feeling. So yeah, and all the dot watching, people said it was really cool. He had to drop out, unfortunately. But until that point, people did enjoy watching both the dots going round in opposite directions, getting confused.
Yeah, that must have been some epic dot watching.
Yeah, well, I hope so. I don't know. I find dot watching really stressful because you just don't really know what's going on, and if there's a glitch or they wait, you just don't know if they're injured or they're just having a rest. It's harder than actually being out there doing it.
You've got to just have it on in the background somewhere, and you've got to come and go. That's the best.
Yeah, but it ends up just taking up your whole day. It's just you get sucked in. So yeah, I felt bad for everyone because I didn't finish till 3:15 in the morning. It was pretty antisocial hour. Could have worked that out a bit better.
Ouch. Yeah, no, that's quite that's quite hardcore, isn't it? But
yeah.
And I think, did you not have a really good moon as well?
Yeah, I had a really good moon as well, Kate. So there was really very little to complain about, and I knew that, and that was part of the reason I wanted to go really fast, because I was thinking I might never get weather like this again. And so I had to, make hay while the sun shines. So I really did go out with intent to think, I've been out here in awful weather, and so I can really appreciate how lucky I am to have this weather today, and I'm going to make the most of it.
And were you filming it?
So there was a camera crew. I'd said that I wanted to go for the winter record, and they just got in touch and asked if I minded them tagging along. I spoke with the director, a really nice guy who really knows his running. He's done the Dragon's Back race before, and they actually filmed Pedwar Deg Saith Copper, which is a Welsh documentary on the Paddy Buckley, which is on Amazon Prime, and I'd watched that a few years ago, and it was a big inspiration to me because it's really good. Yeah, I really recommend it if you haven't seen it. 47 Copper. It's on Amazon Prime. They just followed this guy who's an ex-rugby player, Hugh Jack Brassington, and he's moved to ultras, and he's a really interesting guy, really funny guy, and he was just going for this big challenge and got a lot of local runners to help him out, and they filmed the whole thing, and it was a really great documentary. And so they'd done that, so I knew they
knew what it was.
Yeah. So I've spoken to Martin Stone, who's like the custodian of all these rounds, and he told me what I would and wouldn't be able to do if I wanted it to be solo run and supported. So I sent them the email directly, and they all adhered to that. So hopefully I won't have done anything to impinge on that, because I really did want to go solo unsupported, because that's what Damian Hall did, and he had the record for me, and I really wanted to respect the way he'd done that. We'll see what Martin says, but they never spoke to me at all. I barely even saw them, and if I did, it was only out the corner of my eye. But we'll see.
And did they come and follow you a bit? Because it looked like from some previous posts on the build-up that you got some nice bit of filming earlier in the month. Have they been following you for a while?
No, not really. No, because it was all a bit rushed. They'd been in touch, and then they'd had problems with their team getting COVID and stuff, so they'd had illnesses. So they weren't really doing the build-up, which would have been nice, I think, but it was still, we were really lucky with the weather as it was. The weather meant that they could get some great shots during the day. I did have a GoPro with me at night, which I was filming bits and bobs, but I don't know how much of that was usable or even coherent. I was just probably talking absolute rubbish.
Was it hard? I mean, how tough was it?
Yeah, it was amazingly, effortlessly easy until it wasn't. Yeah, I made the stupidest error, Kate, where I'd started my watch. I've got a Garmin Phoenix. I'm not sponsored by them, but I've always got on really well with it. And then I realized I didn't need it, and I stopped it. And then when I started it again, I thought nothing of it, and I got to the top of the first hill, and I had an idea of what time I would have run, and I was 10 minutes behind that, and that really shocked me and put me, in a bit of a panic. So I started moving fast, and then like 3 hours, 4 hours later, I realized that it was using elapsed time. So it had taken the time from when I'd initially pressed the start button on the elapsed time. That's what it does. Oh. So I corroborated that with the time of day, and I was like, oh God, I'm going out way too fast. And by that point, I don't know, I was in such a groove. I had all my adrenaline going. I just hit the first 3 legs way too quickly. And around the beginning of leg 5, my tummy just started to quit. it just started to pack in, and I knew something was wrong because I was feeling like I'm hitting war here. I'm running out of glycogen, but I'm eating. So what's going on? And then about an hour after that, I did the world's mightiest heave and just lost about 5 gels.
Better out than in.
Yeah, they weren't going in, and then that was it for me. I couldn't ingest anything. Like I couldn't even drink water was hard. I wanted to heave, and I was really scared to eat anything because it was giving me this reaction. So I didn't want to chuck up even more. So the last 4 or 5 hours in the dark and tired, I had to do without any fuel, and so that was a real challenge. That was a new one for me because I was managing to go into some kind of fat burning mode, but it wasn't pretty. Like it felt awful. So I was really happy.
You don't have a lot of fat to burn.
Well, I was happy. I actually went into the round a bit overweight. I normally put on a few pounds in the winter, and I was really grateful for those, because I needed it. Oh,
those mince pies.
Yeah. No, I'm not a mince pie fan. More of the
no.
Stollen. I like Stollen.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's definitely a few extra pounds there.
Yeah.
That's a good pre-race tactics. Forget the mince pies. Have the Stollen.
Yeah, just get that
concrete in your tummy.
Yeah, so it definitely came good for me.
Oh wow. I suppose yes. I seem to remember that eating is a little bit of your Achilles heel. No pun intended.
Yes. Yeah, still struggling with it. I feel like I'm getting better, but this one mainly, I was just going too fast, and there's lots of science behind it. If you go into your kind of lactic thresholds, it takes the blood out of your stomach, and then your stomach's just going to kind of close down. So you're supposed to never really go into that zone. And I was definitely in that zone for a large part of the day. So really, I mean, it was actually a blog from John Kelly that I read saying that everything, you need to keep all the plates spinning. Everything needs to be working. It doesn't matter if it's your aerobic system or your body or your nutrition. If one of those things go wrong, you get no result. Everything comes crashing down. So the other day it was the stomach issues, but it was my stomach. It was my responsibility. It was my fault. So I was going that too fast.
But you got through it.
Yeah, I got through it. It was a long 5 hours, but yeah, I was very relieved to get down off the mountain safely. And
conditions underfoot, or what's it like running? And racing.
Oh my God, Kate, it was perfect.
Snow and ice.
I would love to have an excuse, but I knew I had the perfect weather, so I just had to make the most of it and get the quickest time to really vindicate the weather, because it was really strange. We had a temperature inversion. It was warmer on the tops, so there was no snow on the rocks, no ice on the rocks. It was pleasant, no breeze. For a large part of the day, I was in a base layer and leggings. I was warm, so I actually had to take my Gore-Tex socks off because my feet were too hot. It's like it was crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, and all I could do is appreciate how lucky I was, and then just go as quick as I could.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, cool. Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to throw some horror story about some snow somewhere that I slipped up on, but the only bit that happened on was right at the end in the car park behind Placid Brennan Outdoor Centre. There was ice and snow all over the car park, and I nearly slipped on that. I was only about 200 meters away from the finish.
No. That would be, unfortunate.
That would have been unfortunate. I managed to prevent that. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well deserved. And yes, I mean, you took that opportunity, didn't you? Really?
Yeah. I've had enough bad days out there to think, you know what, I'm going to go with this. I'm not going to think too hard.
And now you can relax over Christmas and New Year.
No, that was a really
wreath.
Part of it. Yes, exactly. I was really worried I'd have to go through Christmas, trying to keep in shape and watch my waistline and be churning out the 100-mile weeks. And now I can just rest up and watch the Christmas movies and
Yeah.
Eat more stollen.
Eat more
Yeah.
stollen.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Well, yeah, thank you. Any adventures next year, even?
Next week. Oh my goodness.
Okay, yeah, sorry, that wasn't much of a break, was it?
Wow, that's an impressive amount of recovery, even for a robot like myself. No, not anything going on next week, but next year, I have got a few ideas in mind. The thing that I embarked upon with John Kelly, starting in the same place and going anti-clockwise and one person going clockwise. I want to explore that a bit more.
Yeah, so, I think that would be fantastic. Yeah. I'm gutted I missed.
Good idea. Yeah.
Doing.
Yeah, and you never really know who's out in front because the terrain is so different.
Yes.
I think it could be a really interesting format, so I want to explore that a bit more.
Yes, definitely.
We'll see. Yeah, so I've got an idea for that, but basically local. My wife is she works in getting information out about climate change, and she's basically put a ban on flights in this house, and for good reason. So we're just trying to enjoy what's local. So it might be Bob Graham or Ramsey Round at some point, but I think I'm probably done with international races.
You know Paddy too well now. You need to expand your horizon.
Yeah, exactly. I like I can stretch to a car journey, or maybe Nina will make me take the bus. I don't know, to Scotland or something. So. Well,
maybe you should do what Dan Lawson was going to do, and someone else has just said they're doing it, where they're doing the 3 peaks, but running in between them as well.
Wow. Dan Lawson, he's got Le Jog record, isn't it?
Yes.
The guy, yeah.
Yes.
I don't know about that. You know what? The road sections are so dull. I know.
Yeah. That's the thing, isn't it? It's just that coming down the M6 or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's not glamorous. I've had a lot of road running in my career, and especially I suppose you'd have to change shoes. But yeah, road running in fell shoes is the worst suffering imaginable. I hate it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's not good, is it?
No, but I don't know. Damian Hall, he got a ferry or Eurostar to the UTMB this year. That was a good idea. So
yeah,
I think,
you can get to the continent by train, can't you?
Yeah, maybe I could look at something like that. I have no idea. It's keeping fit and healthy and happy is the main thing. Yeah.
Well, let's see what the first part of the year brings, eh? Who knows?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. At the moment, it's all about trying to avoid Omicron. Yeah, I'm going down to London tomorrow, so it's like a hotspot at the moment, and I haven't had my booster yet. So yeah, bit trepidatious. We'll see.
You'll be fine, I'm sure. You'll be fine.
I'm sure. No, you said that, so forever, Kate.
Well, you can dodge the airwaves.
Oh yeah, that's it. Because I'm so fast, I'll just run away from COVID. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Well, thank you, Russell. I'll let you get on. Have a great Christmas. Thank you for talking.
You too. Now, Dole Clowen, we say here in Wales. So thank you very much.
Right back at you.
Okay.